Welcome to Uptown. We're back in Uptown. It's been about a year and a half because my very first video was in Uptown and it sucked. So I wanted to come back and show you all the different reasons, like behind me, why people love Uptown. Today we're gonna break Uptown down into the 4 wards, starting with First Ward. Before we get into Uptown, the YouTube algorithm loves it when you hit the like button, and I love it when you hit the subscribe button. So do me a solid, click both of those real quick. Let's head into Uptown. So we're gonna kick off today in First Ward, also known as the Garden District area. You're gonna see a little bit of everything when it comes to residential options in here. You're gonna see single family homes, you're gonna see townhomes, you're gonna see condos. You're also gonna have a little bit of retail. Within the retail space, you're gonna see 7th Street Public Market, which is a super cool food hall right in the heart of Uptown, across from the Hornets Arena. So when it comes to the residential condo market, some of the big buildings that you're gonna see here in First Ward are gonna be Court 6, Courtside, Tivoli, and they're gonna be a wide range of studios up to 3-bedroom industrial loft style high-rise buildings that have awesome Uptown views. So in Garden District in the last year, there were 46 sales with an average price of about $332,000 and the highest being $610,000. So if you're looking for a really cool residential vibe in Uptown while still having the walkability of living in Uptown, this is a fantastic place to look, especially with the single family and townhome options that a lot of the other wards don't offer. And now, let's go to Second Ward. Second Ward, this is gonna be the least residential of all 4 wards in Uptown. You're gonna have things like the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Across the street is the Convention Center. Across the street over here, you have hotels everywhere. The only real residential you're gonna see here are gonna be condotels, which are basically condo buildings and hotel buildings combined into one. And so the 2 most popular are gonna be Fahrenheit and Sky condos. And then right behind me, where the Hilton Garden Inn is the Madison. So both of them are gonna be like luxury condo buildings that are also hotels. Not every lender can lend on them because it's a condo building and a hotel building combined into one. And so a lot of the lending practices are a little different. So before you go to offer on one of those, just make sure you talk to your lender to confirm and double check that they can lend on that building. Quick note about the Epicenter. It used to be the hot spot for all the bars, restaurants, nightclubs. It had a little bit of everything. And recently, they've all completely closed down. The whole Epicenter has been shut down, and there's a lot of rumors flying around about what's gonna happen. Personally, I think it'd be awesome if it turned into some kind of a luxury retail experience, whether it's shopping or restaurants, or maybe like a mix of both. Because if you think about where it's located, it's across the street from the Ritz-Carlton, it's across the street from the Omni Hotel, and right next to the Ritz, across the street from the Epicenter, is the Hornets Arena. And so if you're coming to Charlotte, you're staying in Uptown, and you wanna go shop, or you need to buy something, there's nowhere to really go right now, except for South Park. Being able to have something like that in Uptown would just be awesome. But no one really knows what's gonna happen, and I guess we'll find out soon. Aside from some of those condotels, most of the residential that you're gonna see in Second Ward is along Stonewall, and you're gonna see a lot of luxury apartment buildings, and some of them have all kinds of retail under them, and one of the biggest anchor tenants on Stonewall is gonna be Whole Foods. But now, let's head into Third Ward. Third Ward, the most action-packed ward in Uptown. You've got all kinds of stuff to do. Notably, the Panthers Stadium, where the Panthers play. Charlotte FC is about to start playing. You've got the Knights Stadium. You've got tons of bars and restaurants like Graham Street Pub right next to both stadiums. And you have a few different parks, whether it's back here tucked in more of the residential area or Romeo Bearden Park where we filmed last year. So this building is actually where I had my very first sale in residential real estate. It's an industrial style condo building, and they're super cool because some of them actually have unobstructed views of Uptown and the Panthers Stadium. And you're gonna notice that a lot of the buildings, residential buildings in Third Ward are gonna be very similar to this, where it's industrial style condos. You're gonna have industrial style lofts. In addition to a lot of the condos, you're gonna see a lot of townhomes over here in Third Ward as well. Similar to the Garden District in First Ward, you're gonna have a lot of these like older townhomes on like First Street and Greenleaf. And then once you go from Greenleaf to Westbrook, you're gonna have a lot more of the super modern townhomes, which are like 1 to 5 years old and at totally different price points. But they have sick views of Uptown. Let's head up to Fourth Ward. Fourth Ward, last but not least. This is going to be the most residential and the highest priced residential area in Uptown. You're gonna have tons of different options and all different price points. Now, that being said, you are gonna have the Music Factory over here in Fourth Ward, which has tons of music venues, comedy clubs, nightclubs, bars, restaurants, a little bit of everything. And you're gonna have one of the most staple restaurants in all of Uptown, Alexander Michaels. The trend in Fourth Ward is gonna be lots of large Victorian style homes that are a little bit older, and it's gonna be by far the most residential feeling part of Uptown. Now to round out Uptown, since we've seen all 4 wards today, there's currently 54 houses on the market in Uptown. There were about 404 sales in the last year with an average price per square foot of $319 a foot. The other thing that you're gonna start to see is that now that people are really starting to come back to Uptown, you're gonna have much lower days on market than we saw in the last year, which was 54 days. And it makes sense because COVID obviously drastically impacted people wanting to move into Uptown, people wanting to live where they could walk to work when they're not going to work. But now that people are going back to work, new restaurants are opening, new breweries are opening, new bars are opening, it's so much more vibrant in Uptown. So that being said, hopefully this video is way better of Uptown than last year's, and I'll see you next week.